Shalom Israel, first and foremost, I do want to give all praises, all honor, and all glory to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahshua B'Shem Dash, Jabon to the apostles, Nels Great Millstone, for teaching us his truth, peace, and blessings to the whole of Israel. Yahweh is the name of the Heavenly Father, Hebrew Ba'Shem is the name, Yahweh Shai is the name of the begotten Son. Back in our lesson, as he within the title, going to be going to these Doomsday bunkers. I'm also going to add no escape, because you will not be able to escape the wrath, the hand of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahshua, as we're going to get throughout various scriptures, because you're going to have this devil try to flee, trying to escape, his judgment, this destruction that is to come. As we're going to read right here within this article, it says Trump officials are suddenly buying doomsday bunkers, which U.S. police already have, various, types of bunkers and, luxury submarines and these, various things that they're ultimately going to try to flee and escape to. These space stations, whatever the case may be. Yahweh Ba'Shem Shai has covered all routes of escape. You have that saying, you can run but you can't hide. Well, in this case, you can't run and you can't hide. But it's completely separately. We are on the 10th day of the ever-expanding Iron War. And this was, a couple of days ago. But at least 2 members of the president's cabinet have recently purchased bomb-proof bunkers. Ron Hubbard, the creator of Atlas Survival Shelters, told the Telegraph over the weekend that orders have gone up tenfold since the United States and Israel attacked Iran earlier this month. So you have people, looking to purchase these doomsday bunkers in order to try to escape, this destruction that is soon to come. Especially speaking of Esau, Edom trying to escape his judgment. But you will not be able to. But once you best believe they've spent billions, if not trillions of dollars on these bunkers, which I made a lesson a while back. Which is one old article which I believe came out like 8 or 7 years ago, some to that effect. But it was pretty much a article going into these bunkers and them training soldiers deep underground, spending $500 million, and that was years back. So how much more now? And why do you think they're training soldiers deep underground? You get Jeremiah 16:16, they soon the Lord turned his fish to those hunters. And they shall hunt them in front of a mountain, hill, and these caves, these things the devil can try to flee to. Read a bit more. So I've been inundated with calls, said Hubbard, but among his anxious clientele are two chief members of Donald Trump team, according to the shelter maker. One of them texted me yesterday asking me when will my bunker be ready. He told the Telegraph. So let's get into these scriptures at hand. Amos 9:2-3, and it says, though they dig into hell, which is pretty much deep underground, then shall mine hand take them. And it says, though they climb to heaven, thence will I bring them down. So these bunkers, these space stations, these submarines. Because we're also going to get in verse 3, it says, and though they hide themselves on top of Carmel, I'll search and take him out thence, and though they be hid from my sight in the bottom of the sea, thence will I command the serpent, and he shall bite them. And who is that serpent, ultimately speaking? A Leviathan. Could also be other creatures. Lord may seek out into this devil, because you get in Wisdom of Solomon, goes into, a newly beast, or beast newly created, if paraphrasing. But, Leviathan will definitely make an appearance in these last days. But then I'll search, taking out thence, and those they be in my sight in the bottom of the sea, so I command the serpent, and he shall bite them. So this devil has this, luxury submarines, these underwater, hotels that, people will purchase nowadays. So if that's able to be pretty much revealed and, shown to the public, imagine what this devil got, But Isaiah 14:21-22, and just adding to that point I made earlier, the Lord has covered all routes of escape, via land, air, and sea. But Isaiah 14:21-22, it says, prepare slaughter for his children for the iniquity of their fathers, that they do not rise nor possess the land, nor fill the face of the world with cities. Verse 22, for I'll rise up against them, said the Lord. of hosts and cut off from Babylon the name and remnant and son and nephew, saith the Lord. So there is no escaping the judgment that is to come. The wrath and hand of Yahweh Bashmal Shai, because you devils will especially pay for your crimes, your atrocities that you have committed. And they can be able to, you think you'll be able to, scurry away to these bunkers, base stations, these, submarines that you got, underwater bases, whatever the case may be. You won't be able to. Jeremiah 16:16. Behold, I'll send for many fishers, saith the Lord, and they shall fish them. And after I'll send for many hunters, and they shall hunt them from every mountain, and from every hill, and out of the holes of the rocks. So you can be taken right up out of those bunkers and all these various things. Okay, once the Lord has the, air covered via the chariots, the angels, land being the Lord's elect, especially once Yahweh Basham Shai, lifts that stand against our enemy, that power being bestowed upon, his men, the sea, via Leviathan. So the Lord has his army, But it says, and after all, send for many hunters, they shall hunt them from every mountain and from every hill and out of the holes of the rock. So these are the various things that they're going to try to flee to once again. Jeremiah 23:24, and it says, can any hide himself in secret places that I shall not see him? Saith the Lord. Do not I fill heaven and earth? Saith Yahweh Basham Shai. So do you think you can hide truly from the Lord? See what these other translations say. It says, no one can hide where I cannot see. Do you not know that I am everywhere in heaven and on earth? So you devils won't be able to escape. There is no running. There is no hiding. You will pay for your crimes once again. But we'll see how these, bunkers work out for you. Okay, hopefully you're going to be, pulled up right up out of them. Numbers 35 and 33. And guess what? Put directly into chains. And it says, so you shall not pollute them when ye are, for blood defileth the land, and the land cannot be cleansed of the blood that shed therein. And who shed that blood? Esau, Edom. Ezekiel 35 and 5 goes into, that blood he has shed with the sword. Since that was, I'll get this after that. But then the land cannot be cleansed of the blood that shed therein, but by the blood of him that shed it. So his devil's blood is required. Ezekiel. And it says, because thou hast had a perpetual hatred and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword. So he shed that blood. Also these nations, but mainly speaking of Esau. You're also going to have these nations pay for the crimes and things that they have done also. But then it has shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword in the time of their calamity and the time that their iniquity had an end. And got one more scriptures, Revelation 6:13-17, to close out with this. And it says, and this is what they're going to try to escape. And the stars of heaven fell into the earth, even as a fig tree casts her untimely figs when she is shaken of a mighty wind. So what is that stars of heaven speaking of? Those thermonuclear missiles. That, mighty wind is going to be, that shock waves, from those explosions. Whereas in the heavenly part as a scroll when it's rolled together, which is speaking of those mushroom clouds being formed from those explosions. And every mountain island removed out of their places, as you can also get various other scriptures going to how the earth is quite literally going to shake from all these explosions. How the earth shall reel to and fro, and shall be as a drunkard. And it's in the kings of the earth, and the great men, and the rich men, and the chief captains, and the mighty rulers, and the mighty men, and every bondman, and every freeman, hid themselves in dens in the rocks of the mountains, and said to the mountains and rocks, fall on us, and hide us from the face of him that sitteth on the throne, and from the wrath of the Lamb. So you see they're going to try to escape, their judgment. But you will not be able to. Now it says, for the great day of his wrath is coming, who shall be able to stand? So further going to show without you how Basham Shai you are through. But that's, pretty much the point right there. Just, another quick hit going to that because, we've been going to these, DUMBs, which are, short for deep underground military bases and various things Devil has already. I believe there's even a map, showcasing them, all over the U.S. and all types of stuff. So, And this devil, Ben had these things, and especially in spending all sorts of money, putting it into these submarines, bases, whatever the case may be, all in order to try to flee and to try to escape his coming judgment, but you will not be able to, as we've read throughout various scriptures. The Lord has covered all routes of escape. But that's the point. Those was edifying. Give all praise, all honor, and all glory to Yahweh, Bashem, Shabbat, Shem, Dash.